You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison. It's time for the Nerd Overload 200th episode special, filmed live in front of a studio audience. I'm Sam.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Samantha.
We have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in.
Sorry, guys, I was late. Whammy, wham, wham, wazzle.
Oh, Cody.
Oh, that's Cody.
That's my catchphrase I've always had.
All the time, yeah. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. We have a great show for you this week, jam-packed with all sorts of the fun stuff that you know and love us for. A bunch of news, but first let's talk about some things we've been checking out. And can I stop doing this announcer voice? Thank God.
I was
Okay,
gonna ask,
all right, yeah,
if you were
all right.
gonna stop.
I'm gonna do the voice for the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. Sure.
Oh no.
Andy Samberg,
Musical guest.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know why that's the first.
I don't know, but it works.
Out of their retirement home.
Yeah. All right, so hey, I can get into a couple things I've checked out real quick from the week. First thing, I watched a bunch of episodes from a Netflix series called Miraculous, The Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. This has been on for a while, but it's the first time I've
I always
checked
like
it out.
run into like fan art and like fandom from it.
A lot of cosplay at conventions, like a surprising amount.
It's a good costume that she has.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah, so the idea of the show is it's a really formulaic, kind of episodic show where you have two teenagers in high school at a French high school. The show is set in Paris, France. Basically, they each have these little trinket things that give them superpowers. One of them, the main character, has a pair of earrings that gives her like good luck powers, I guess, something like that. And also like a yo-yo with an impossibly long string that she swings across the city with, like Spider-Man. And the other guy has a ring that gives him like bad luck powers, and he's based after like a black cat.
Meow.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. Like the villain like finds people throughout the city that has like is going through like strong negative emotions like despair or anger or whatever, and like turns them into like a themed villain. And it's all really clever. It's really cool. The show is a joint production between a Zagtoons, which is a French art studio, and Toei.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So it has this really cool kind of, it's 3D animated, but it has a kind of anime-ish looking kind of look to it.
Yeah.
But and it has like a full-on like magical girl like transformation sequence when they put on their costumes, both Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's almost like Sailor Moon and Spider-Man if you flip-flop the gender roles.
It's very Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, it's very cool. I like even to the point where the main character, when she's not in her superhero persona, she is incredibly clumsy and always like being overly like reactionary and like overreacts and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Always late, always sleeps in, always hungry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but no,
Only thing missing is running with toast in her mouth.
Pretty much,
Right?
Yeah. But no, I really enjoy the show. It's definitely worth checking out. I think like the first 2 seasons are on Netflix. I've only gone through the first season or so, I believe. But yeah, it's very, very cool. The other thing that I checked out this week been I've watched a couple of old kung fu movies because I don't know why, I've just kind of been in the mood for it. One is one that I guarantee no one has ever seen, called Odd Couple, which is one of my favorite kung fu movies.
I think I've seen clips from it.
Yeah, it's like the Master of Swords and the Master of Spears fight each other each year or something like that, and they decide to take on a pupil. But the actors that play the old masters are actually young actors, and they play each other's pupil. So they kind of flip-flop, and it stars Sammo Hung, who was in that show Martial Law, if you remember that from the 90s.
Isn't that a Tekken character's name?
I think Martial Law was the Tekken character, yeah. Yeah, but no, I watched that, and then the other one I dug around and watched was Master of the Flying Guillotine.
That's on Verve now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That's one of my favorite kung fu movies.
Yeah, super, super good. Like, the Flying Guillotine is, like, an insanely impossible weapon, but I love it.
And it makes such a cool sound whenever they throw it.
Yeah.
It's a rad movie.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that was the basis for the game Street Fighter. If you think about it, a lot of the characters have somewhat kind of basis from that. Like the Indian character with his yoga powers that he stretched his arms out really long. And at least some of the bits from the Muay Thai kickboxer was taken for
I can't even remember.
Sagat.
Sagat, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't there a Muay Thai guy in Street Fighter?
Yeah, Sagat.
Well, yeah. Sagat's Muay Thai, and also his Adon, who was his pupil.
What am I thinking? I'm thinking Muay Thai is something else. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing it up with capoeira. Is there a capoeira guy in Street Fighter?
What's her face from 5?
Yeah. What's her name? She's the new character.
Oh, dang.
The one with the large tracts of land.
Yeah. Can't remember her
Who's
name.
not the masked wrestler?
She's from Brazil.
She's from Brazil. She's Sean's sister, Matsuda.
Yeah, she's a green outfit.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, you're the Street Fighter dude.
I'm the Street Fighter guy, and I know it. Ask me on any other day, and I would know it. And it's totally blanking.
And now you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night. That's who it was.
I refuse to look it up.
I'm doing it.
I know Cody is, but I refuse to do it. Let me think.
Minot. No.
No, but it's not Minot.
No, but Minot is cool.
Minot is a cool design, though. Yeah, I'll definitely give you that. Although I like her alt costume better than her main costume because she looks like a mummy, and that's pretty cool.
Go with mummies.
It's Laura.
Laura. That's what it is. I knew it was something really kind of just an easy, normal name, like nothing crazy. But As
in Laura Croft.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's Laura.
Yeah.
So no,
But,
not like Laura Croft.
But anyway, Master of the Flying Guillotine is definitely worth checking out if you get a chance to. Super, super, super good. And if you can, find the English dub because some of the voices from that dub are just ridiculous. Yeah, like the during the fighting tournament like scenes, there's a guy who has like a fan who's like he announces who's the winner, and he's always like, he like looks very puzzled whenever there's a winner, or like smiles or whatever, and then gets real serious and opens up the fan and goes, "Somebody wins."
I tell you, like dubbing of like old kung fu movies is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, like Kung Pao makes fun of a lot of it, but
That's such a great movie.
But it's pretty darn accurate.
Well, it's actually kind of funny. Kung Pao, they took another movie that was done by Jimmy Wang Yu, who did Master of the Flying Guillotine, and he used a lot of like the same actors for multiple films. So Betty is in Flying Guillotine, and what's his name? The one with the squeaky shoes that they trained as a joke.
Oh.
He shows up in it. Like they use a lot of the same actors.
Well, it's like if you go back and watch like Hey There Tiger Lily, and they took that Japanese spy movie and chopped it up all stupid.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's a cringy movie.
Yeah.
By a cringy man.
Yeah, well, let's me tell you about Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. There's classic Woody Harrelson directed films. Annie Harrelson.
Oh man.
It took me a second. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So that's what I've been checking out, along with some other little stuff.
Oh man, I have like a grocery list of stuff that I've watched.
Let's hit the highlights, man.
We have a little bit. Can we do that?
Yeah,
first?
go for it.
Yeah.
Do it.
We watched the Tomb Raider reboot movie.
Oh yeah, how was it?
It was okay.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
Was it
Okay.
basically like the first game?
But yeah, it was fairly true to the first game. I never finished the first game though, so I don't know.
You're talking about the
How?
first game reboot.
Yeah,
right?
the first game reboot, not the fun Lara Croft that shoots and jumps and.
No, this Laura getting her body wrecked by nature. Survival Laura.
Learning to be the Tomb Raider Laura.
Yeah.
Which I I don't think she finds her dad alive on the island in the game, but she
Nope.
does in the movie, and it seems kind of dumb.
I'll say he was dead a long time ago in the game.
Mm-hmm.
That and there's like no female characters other than Lara Croft, which is kind of dumb. Like even in the game, they gave her like a friend.
Yeah, who was absent for 95% of it.
Yeah, but she was there.
And then there was like the weird Japanese ghost priestess thing.
Yeah, that's part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for a video game movie, it's like The Godfather. I mean, like, you can watch all of it without being extremely bored. So
or angry.
Yeah, or angry. It was resoundingly okay.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, speaking
for a movie based on a video game, that's all right.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
What's her name? Alicia Vikander.
Mm-hmm.
She was a very good Lara Croft. I liked her.
Good.
The movie does open with her being punched in the face, which I thought was weird.
That's a choice.
Yeah. The literally first thing you see is her being punched in the face.
Ooh.
She's practicing kickboxing with somebody, but like it just opens to a full-on blow to the face.
Get used to this, folks.
Yeah.
I think that's a... Did we do anything else? I mean, I've played all the way through Dishonored over the past couple of days, which
the
is
first one?
Yeah, which is the old as crap video game.
Now,
Yeah. It's just one that I kind of barely touched before, and I finally decided to go back and finish
did
it.
you do the stealth murder route, or did you like the stealth don't kill anybody route?
I killed people, but not very many. So I got the good end. I got the best ending, but it's a really good game, especially if you miss like an immersive, like a BioShock style. It doesn't have the story of a BioShock, but it has that gameplay where you have all kinds of cool powers, and you need to figure out how to use them best to traverse the level.
Well, also, if you just go around murder hoboing people, then like the rat thing happens. And...
Yeah, the plague gets worse, and it gets nasty. But it's a really good game, and one I should have paid more attention to back when it came out. I love the blink power, the teleport power, and how they handle that. It's so fun to use. So pick that up for $10.
Cool.
Or be a member of PlayStation Now.
Yeah, and you'll enjoy a good 8 hours of solid
Yeah,
gameplay.
it's not a very long game.
No.
Oh, man. Okay, let's see here. I watched both the animated Godzilla films that are on Netflix, the new ones.
Didn't you?
Yeah, we talked about
Did
that
I?
last week.
Yeah,
Did
you
I?
mentioned that one
Okay.
before last.
All right.
Or not last week, last show.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
Last week we were
Like I said, I
trapped
watched
in
so much. I watched so much stuff on Netflix. I binge watch all of Disenchantment.
Okay.
Hey, we did too.
The
We
weekend
can
it
talk
came
about
out.
that. It was very good, and I liked it very much.
I liked it. It definitely wasn't as strong. Like I still feel like he's kind of finding his. I mean, toward the end, it really started picking up. But
Yeah, it gets better as you go.
it definitely didn't feel like Futurama.
Yeah, it's not as laugh-a-minute as Futurama. There's jokes in there, and they're good, but they're not as frequent.
Yeah, he's also definitely playing with a whole. There's an overarching story.
Yeah, and it really doesn't get really strongly into play until like the last few episodes, really.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned like these few bit players, and then it all kind of like comes together like toward the end. You're like, oh, that's who they are.
There's some great Matt Groening style sign gags in the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Some of my favorite stuff is the signs of these old timey establishments, like the poison shop called Little Seizures.
Oh, that's
and
good.
it's got a little like choking Little Caesars man on it saying poison, poison. Or there's a 7-Eleven that's 7-Eleven in Roman numerals, and then underneath it says open since the year 7-Eleven.
Okay, that's good.
yeah. There's the pub she drinks at all the time.
The Flying Scepter.
Yeah, and there's like scepters like embedded in the sign because King Zog likes to throw scepters out the window.
When he gets mad, he chucks his
Yeah, they just bring him a
out the
box of
window.
scepters and he just throws them out the window.
Oh, that's good.
His fish wife.
Una.
Una. Yeah.
I love that in one of the episodes they call her Reptilicus.
Yeah. I am not reptile. And then she like eats a bug with her tongue.
It's very Matt Groening, just not as constant as Futurama. Like it wants to tell a story too, which is fine. Let it be different.
Yeah.
The animation is good. It looks like
It's definitely there.
yeah. the backgrounds I think are really great, and the sweeping CG shots of the world are very good.
Oh man, like the opening like music, like every episode has different art in the opening, and it's all.
I just learned that the other day, and I didn't realize
You didn't
it, and
notice? That was like the first thing I noticed.
I skipped all the theme like almost every time, and I didn't notice that they were different. And now I regret doing that.
Yeah, they're all like colored vector shots of references to what's coming up in the episode.
The theme song I really like too. It's Mark Mothersbaugh.
There are
cool.
they're like little twinges in the theme song that sound almost like Game of Thrones.
It's very like it sounds like a party.
Yeah. The cast is fairly small.
Yeah, but those main three characters are so good, and they all play off each other so well.
Yep, Lucy the Demon and
Elfo the Elf,
Elfo the Elf and
Princess Bean.
Princess Bean.
Like Lucy the Demon and Elfo are very much her good and bad conscience to the point where to the point where they're literally sitting on her shoulders some of the time, telling her what she should be doing.
Right, yeah.
Of course, Elfo is not beyond corruption, but
No. I mean, heck, he was pretty corrupt in the very first episode.
yeah, but that's the conceit of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely the junk elf.
Yeah. Oh, the scenes in the elf world are hilarious because where everybody
Is happy.
is constantly happy and they make candy to sell to get candy. Like their whole world is really messed up, and Elfo's the only one that sees that like this is dumb. Like,
Yeah, he like rages about it. And then what's her name? Kisso or
Kissy.
Kissy the elf or whatever.
All the elves have dumb names like something. Oh, there's one that is constantly gets shocked by something
Shaco.
going on.
He has a
this
shirt that says
his
Shaco.
shirt just says Shaco on
And
it.
his mouth
name's-
is always, oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, so stupid.
It's a really good show, and I really like it. And I wish they would have went with a full 20 episode season right away, because I don't want to wait another year.
Right? Especially with the way they end it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it on here, but it gets real.
Oh man.
And if it's not like banging on all cylinders for you in the first couple episodes, just stick with it, because
It does start off a little slow.
yeah, it gets so much better. And even then, at the beginning, I was still sold right away.
I mean, I was sold the fact that it was a fantasy Matt Groening.
Yeah.
Anyway, other stuff I've watched. What did I binge that night after that? Oh, all of Agretzko.
Agretzko is so good. We've talked about
that's good
Agretzko on here a
stuff.
couple times.
Yeah.
Like,
We've talked about that, yeah.
it got a little real for me at some points. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, sure.
man.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
incredibly that cartoon red panda is incredibly relatable.
Yeah.
Especially what a jerk her boss is.
Yeah.
He then kind of has his moments near the end.
Yeah. Well, everybody on that show is multifaceted, I think.
Oh, yeah. To a point. I mean,
Yeah, Finico might not be that. She doesn't have a whole lot going on.
she's
Yeah.
definitely the kind of a jerk, like, best friend.
Yeah. If anybody needs more backstory in the next season, I think it's her. Even that horrible deer girl has more.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Backstory.
there's like
Yeah.
2 episodes that are basically dedicated to her.
Yeah.
The yoga teacher.
Protein. Yeah. I definitely recommend that. Even if you're not an anime person, it's hardly an anime.
Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, this is adult Hello Kitty and I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Like, people get drunk and there's like stuff and man.
When she dates that other red panda guy that's
man.
weird. He smells his fingernails in public. It's so quirky.
He's kind of they call him Space Cadet.
Yeah.
But he's also kind of I want to say he's a jerk, but he's,
He's just
Oblivious.
Oblivious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way.
And-
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
and it's kind of a spoiler, but it turns out all he really wants to do is go home and take care of his plants.
And his coworkers even call him a plant.
Yeah.
Like, you're a plant. You just sit there.
Like, it turns out in the end, the only reason they're in this relationship is because they're being pressured on both sides by other people, and it's not what's best for either of them.
Except for her, like, her higher up coworkers that become her friends.
Yeah.
The eagle and the gorilla lady. Anyway, let's see here. What else did I have watched? I watched all of Reboot the Guardian Code.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I watched one episode of that, and that is the worst show. It is the worst show.
It is so hard to watch, and I made myself watch all of it.
Why?
That is.
I
do you-
don't
do
know.
You hate yourself?
Were you drunk?
No. That's something I would have done drunk, but I didn't.
Yeah, because I remember talking about the first episode a few months ago when I watched it, and yeah, I mean it's like Power Rangers, but
Worse.
But
Worse.
but like everywhere the Power Rangers zigged, this show zagged, and it has that sheen of like weird like mid 2000s like bad acting over top of it. Like it's not good, and the worst part is that they slap
like Beetleborgs.
Yeah, like Beetleborgs level bad acting. And the worst part is they had to take something good like Reboot and shoehorn it onto.
Yeah.
To their bad Power Rangers knockoff.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but there's a couple of videos on YouTube. A guy, I don't like the guy very much, who did the like expose kind of thing, but like dug in kind of deep on the Reboot, the Guardian Code thing, and from the way it looks, the guy who's the producer of this new show had an animated series before this about 4 teens who get sucked into the computer and fight the bugs, the evil virus bugs. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Because it's just Reboot the Guardian Code, but without the reboot
I'm
part.
glad I'm not like a super huge Reboot fan, because I would be really offended. But I mean, I was when I was a kid.
Here, it has its moments. Like, the moments inside the digital world stuff that feel kind of like Reboot.
Doesn't Bob show up?
Do you really want me to tell you?
Yeah.
You really want me to spoil stuff?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this.
All right,
Nobody
okay,
should.
so-
We have 1 minute before we have to go to break. So
Nobody
should
spoiler.
watch
1 minute of
All right.
spoiler.
You see Mainframe twice in the series.
Yeah.
The very first, when the sorcerer, this hacker, who has the worst dialogue, worst dialogue
he's
in
the
the
worst
show.
actor. Worse than the children.
Yeah, he's... No, he's awful. Even worse than the child
That's
pretending to be a
telling.
computer program.
Oh yeah, the child that acts like a computer is a terrible actress, and the main human evil dude is the worst.
Yeah. And, okay, so when he activates Megabyte, which they make fun of his name, like, the minute they meet him, it's like, my phone is like 10,000 of you.
They walk past Dot's Diner.
Yep,
don't they?
he walks past Dot Diner, and you see a couple establishing shots of Mainframe, but it's all dark and nobody's there. The last episode is called, or last episode or maybe the last 2 episodes, are called Mayhem and Mainframe or something. Well, it turns out that the main dude's dad owns the Mainframe computer that Mainframe exists inside of. And they go inside it and turn the power on, and everything lights up and everyone starts showing up. They meet Bob, Dot, Enzo, Hexadecimal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they all look like garbage.
Is it young Enzo or old Enzo?
It's young Enzo, and it's regular Bob and not internet Bob.
That's not
It's
right.
stupid. That was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, man, they just like do you not remember the
Undid
rest?
whole second half of that series.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's bad.
yeah. Enzo's mermaid girlfriend they pulled out of the game. Nothing in it. None of that.
Gone.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that is dumb. Yeah. And then they leave it off on a cliffhanger of Hexadecimal joining with upgraded Megabyte.
Yeah.
It is not good.
No, do not watch it.
Hexadecimal should have been in there from the start, because Hexadecimal is really cool.
Hexadecimal is definitely the most faceted, no pun intended, character of the villains, of the 2 villains that show ever had.
Yeah. All right, well, hey, we have to go to break, but since this is our 200th episode, do we want to leave this on a cliffhanger?
I'm pregnant, and it's your baby.
But who? Everybody give it up for Red Hot Chili Peppers with their song Give It Away.
It was cool to have him here in the studio.
Doing a live showing.
I really wish they wouldn't have did that thing where they just wear socks on their ding-dongs, but
Well,
it was cool to have him here.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's what they do.
It's what they do. Yeah. I mean, we paid for the deluxe experience,
Yeah.
and I guess that includes the ding dong sock. We have some news to go through, right, guys? In theory, we have news.
In theory.
Yeah. So
I'm just wondering if we're going to be allowed to say ding dong sign. You've got to give us a pass on our 200th episode, right?
Yeah. So we have some news. First things first, should we talk about this Aquabats Kickstarter again?
I mean, we touched on it a couple weeks ago.
How it was bad and they did bad and they should feel bad?
Well, they fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it.
And they really did. They changed their goal levels. They've already met their goal.
Yeah.
They lowered it to, I think, $200,000 for an album.
100,000 for the album.
100,000 for an album.
And 250 for an album and 6 mini web episodes of their show, which is, I mean, that's enough.
Yeah, it's much more reasonable, and I'm glad they made it.
Yeah,
I didn't have to be a greedy jerk.
I still don't understand why they decided their initial goal was like 1.1 million. There was no way they were going to do it.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. But I'm glad they fixed it. You know, I do still like the Aquabats, and I hope to see them succeed. I just wasn't going to support them at the $1.1 million level.
Yeah, it didn't seem reasonable, and they weren't going to hit it anyway. They were like only a little over halfway there when they reconfigured their whole Kickstarter and started it over.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on from that, we have some Star Wars news.
A couple of Star Wars news items.
Yeah. Star Wars, is it Star Wars' news or Star Wars newses?
We have
or Stars War news.
We have a couple of news articles about the Star War.
Ah, okay. So the first, it's a couple of casting things. The big one is Matt Smith, one of the doctors from the Doctor Who, is going to be in episode 9 in an undisclosed part.
Because of course they're not going to tell you what he's going to be. It's got to be
I bet it's an alien.
With 2 hearts in a blue box. Wouldn't that be nuts, though?
If
he was the Doctor
the Doctor in it. Oh, can
I'm
you
here
imagine
for it.
how angry everyone on the internet would get?
Well,
I would be thrilled.
Oh, I would be too. Yeah.
Half the internet would be really angry. The other half would be losing their minds.
Oh yeah. No, I imagine. You know what? I imagine he's probably going to be someone on the bad guy side. I bet he's going to be.
Yeah, he's been playing bad guys here lately.
Yeah, like I could see him being like another like. Well, Kylo Ren has become more of like has pretty much taken over for the what's his name?
Supreme Commander Snoke.
Yeah, so he's kind of become the Supreme Commander. So maybe Smith is going to play another Knight of Ren, perhaps, or
You mean the Knights of Ren we never saw?
yeah.
Unless Snoke is one of those lizards that can regrow their bodies, maybe there's 2 Snokes now.
Maybe he's young Snoke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It'd be kind of a waste, but
Yeah.
But
Hey, at least he's not Skynet.
But Matt Smith is a great actor. He's a cool guy, and I'm glad that he's in a Star Wars.
yeah. I mean, the only way they could have done it better is if they got David Tennant, if they wanted to get another doctor in there,
Yeah.
because he's probably the best actor.
Yeah, he's the best Doctor.
Yeah.
David Tennant technically was already in Star Wars.
Was he?
Yes, in Clone Wars.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a Jedi construction teacher
Oh.
for Padawans.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So there we go. We got 2 Doctors.
It was
doctors.
really good. It's a really good episode, actually.
Cool. And along with that, there's this was actually tacked on as like a little last line in the article about Matt Smith. I guess Billy D. Williams is coming back as Old Lando for episode 9.
I mean, it's about time. He was the only original actor who
hadn't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Sure, why not? That's cool.
Everybody loves Lando.
Everybody loves Lando.
He really loves capes.
Loves those capes. But yeah,
I still need to see Solo.
no, you don't.
No.
You really don't. It's okay. You can give it a pass.
But I want to see Donald Glover as Lando.
That's the redeeming factor of the
Yeah,
movie.
that's all I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is kind of meh.
Yeah. I am glad that Kelly Marie Tran is coming back.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super happy about that. I don't particularly want to get into that discussion because we tried it once and it didn't come out well, and I'm afraid if we get into that discussion again, it's also going to come out not
She
great.
did recently do an interview where she talked about her experiences
with the fandom.
Everything,
yeah, that whole situation is just
It's making me like Star Wars less.
yeah.
To
Well,
be completely honest.
making me like Star Wars fans. Well, I mean, I already had a
I don't know,
pretty
it's
low
kind
bar.
of polluting my entire Star Wars experience at this point. I read something on Twitter that I thought was funny. When I was a kid, like, it was the Star Trek fans that were, like, kind of the insufferable, like, Dorcases. And now it's done a full turnaround.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's the Star Wars fans that
That are the insufferable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I like enjoying things, but I try to stay out of fandoms as much as possible because more and more often it seems like the fans are the worst part of any given
Thing.
any given thing. Like, fans have ruined so many different things, and if you let it, it's going to ruin everything you enjoy.
There's some murky depths in there.
I've started to kind of have the conscious decision to not let idiot fans ruin my enjoyment of things. I just stay out of the fandom completely. Kelly Marie Tran did a fine job. She did a good job. I liked her in the movie.
I liked her, and I liked her character.
I liked her character. I liked it. I didn't understand the kind of shoehorned love thing with Finn at the very end. That was kind of weird. But
you
otherwise,
can't blame her for bad writing.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Even if I like the character. Even if you didn't like the character, that's totally your call. That's totally your call. But don't blame the actor for the character.
That's like people who didn't want Ben Affleck to play Batman because he was in Daredevil. It wasn't his fault Daredevil was bad. It was just bad.
Yeah, right. And that's all I kind of want to say on the topic. So let's move on to other happier...
Wait, I got one more thing.
One more thing.
I'm tired of people saying that Canto Bright? The casino planet. I'm tired of people saying that didn't have any purpose. This is the middle movie.
Yeah.
It'll have a purpose. It'll pay off. It's like people forget that it's in the middle of a trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll have a reason.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, you know what? Who cares? There's a whole sequence in Empire where the Millennium Falcon gets stuck inside that giant worm for a while.
That's true.
That served zero purpose in the grand scheme of things. People forget there's large chunks of Empire that really have nothing to do in the grand scheme of things with other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
People don't like to look back on things with an appropriate critical eye.
Yeah.
They forget the stuff that was weird like that. Like Ghostbusters. People really blow out of proportion how... I mean, I'm going to sound like I'm dissing on Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it also isn't like this perfect golden calf of a film.
No, there are issues with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that comes with being a responsible fan, is that you can look at things with a critical eye and divorce yourself from being a fan of that thing and admit that, yes, there are issues with just about anything you enjoy. There's nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Yeah. But yeah, it's that whole looking at things through rose-colored glasses thing is what gets people in trouble when it comes to fandom. It's just the way it goes. Speaking of looking at things with rose-colored glasses, there's a bunch of Nickelodeon shows that's going to be popping up on the streaming service Verve, right?
Yes, which we've talked about Verve so many times on here. I feel like they should be a sponsor.
I wish.
Because it is a great deal, especially
it's
now.
a great deal and a great service.
They got a whole bunch of old Nickelodeon shows, which is awesome.
Yeah, the Nick Splat. Nick Splat used to be it was their old, like, kind of teen lineup sort of thing, and then they had their own channel there for a while called Nick Splat.
Yeah, it was kind of like a nostalgia for like the 90s kids kind of thing where they played like older Nicktoons and stuff like that.
Not just Nicktoons, but like live action.
Oh, yeah,
and this is
yeah.
going to have live action as well.
Yeah,
like,
it has all that.
Oh, yeah, and the Schnick stuff.
I don't believe it has Roundhouse, but I think we'll live.
It doesn't have Roundhouse. It does have Hey Dude.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Salute
a
your-
podcast.
Salute Your Shorts
It
is
has
so much better.
Salute Your Shorts.
I hated that show when I was a kid.
Salute Your Shorts or Hey Dude?
Both.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't grow up with either one of those that much.
Honestly, going back, if I rewatched them, they'd probably be terrible.
Yeah.
They weren't cartoons. I was like, forget this.
Yeah. Although I enjoyed Double Dare.
I love Double Dare.
Although, did you see Nick Splat is not getting the original Double Dare? It's getting Double Dare 2000.
Still okay.
Still fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's not as good because there's no Mark Summers.
Yeah.
Is it getting guts?
Yes, it's getting Guts. It's
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, starring Mark Fogg.
And the best one,
Kirkfog.
The best one, Nick Arcade.
Nick Arcade.
The video-
Yeah.
Dude, I used to watch the
Yeah.
living daylights out of
It's
that.
basically Nickelodeon's version of Starcade.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Starcade's better, but
was so
Nick
good.
Arcade's rad too.
Yeah, but along with that, they're getting a bunch of old cartoons. All Real Monsters, the first time it's popped up in years.
All the Roccos are
The
on
Rocco-
there. So yeah,
First two
Rocco.
seasons of Rocco.
Only the first two?
Mhm.
Well, there's only like 3 or 4. I
There's
think.
4 seasons of it. What I've noticed is a lot of this that's popping up there are like the first and second season. They're not getting the entire run of everything.
Yet.
They're getting like the first half of just any particular show. But yeah, Rocco is going to be on there. Clarissa Explains It All is going to be on there. The first 2 seasons of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Nice.
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah, give me that over the Goosebumps live
Right?
action series any day of the week.
Goosebumps has a better theme song.
Goosebumps has the better theme song, and it has that dog with the glowing eyes.
That goes woof, 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 woof.
Yeah,
but you
no,
know, but
There's
the
some,
Midnight Society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some notable absences though. There's no Hey Arnold. There's no Invader Zim, and there's no Rugrats.
Because those are all getting new movies.
Yeah, because there's plans for them.
Although there's also plans for Rocco.
That's true.
Yeah, Rocco.
Yeah, Rocco. I can't wait for that Rocco
Ah, it's
movie.
gonna
I'm
be
so
so good.
excited.
Yeah.
Click the link, wash your hands. Click the link, wash your hands.
I'm so much more excited for the Rocco one than the Zim one, honestly. And
yeah.
and I love Zim, but Rocco.
Yeah.
I think Rocco is going to play to the fact that it's going to grow up with us and make fun of everything that, we
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And a lot of those clips from the Zim reboot look like they follow the comics pretty closely. And I read those already.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to go back and watch some old Rocco because, as a kid, you got
don't
some of
pick up the
the
stuff.
broader jokes, but like it was a biting commentary on being in your mid 20s to early 30s.
In the 90s.
And now
yeah.
we are that age, and maybe like more of that stuff is going to be like prevalent, like, have more meaning to it,
I always just remember the episode where Rocco meets Heifer's family.
I remember the episode where Rocco, they never call it out, verbally, but he is working at a sex talk line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh baby, oh baby.
Yeah.
and the stuff on the walls about like being courteous.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
There, one of Heifer's brothers cross dresses,
Yeah.
and they just
roll with
it's
it.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I loved Rocco. I think Rocco is one of my favorites.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, this is getting Angry Beavers and Cat Dog as well.
Cat Dog is a crime.
Yeah.
I own all of Angry Beavers.
Angry
so-
Beavers is very good.
Yeah. Angry Beavers is very good.
I didn't like it when I was a kid. I don't know why, but it's good. If I watch it, I watched it, recently as an adult,
Yeah, it's
and I thought
fine.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I have no idea why I didn't like it as a kid.
Maybe because you didn't realize that Richard Horowitz was the voice of Daggett.
Yeah.
They're not angry enough.
Yeah. Yeah, the Owen Wilson one just seemed like super chill. Like he was not angry at all.
Oh yeah, he always just had like this really like
That's
ethereal
true.
way of talking.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Norbert is not that angry.
He's not.
Also, I've probably said this on here before, but the Penny Arcade characters, their voices, I've always heard them in my head as the angry
as
Beaver.
Daggett and Norbit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tycho is Norbert, and Gabe is Daggett.
This is Daggett, yeah.
That's probably accurate.
Gabe is the annoying one. Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. In cartoon and in life. But that's a topic for a completely different show.
They've been a lot better.
Have they? I stopped paying attention to any of their
A
stuff.
long time ago.
I still follow them on the Facebook and read the comic occasionally because it's not like it's hard to do.
Well, yeah.
It's like reading a newspaper comic strip. It's hardly ever funny, but occasionally you get a chuckle.
Yeah, it's just, I guess a lot of Gabe's like Mike Verhulich's just personality in general. I just don't. It bleeds into the comic for me. I can't read it. I don't know.
I think he's calmed down, or either they're managing him better. One of the two.
They're gonna have. They almost have to, because like it. Well, when I dropped off is when they kind of really started hitting big. It's like, how can you be like the voice of the little guy when you're making all this money and like you've built an arcade in your garage?
Yeah.
And like own multiple boats
Mercedes
or something and stuff like that.
Mercedes.
Yeah, it just came across really false.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like your Weezer argument. It's like for the latest Weezer album.
How it sounds really fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no life to it. Like they're trying to recapture
What made them popular?
Weezer. Ever since their fourth album has been trying to recapture the spark of the first two albums, and every time that they try to, it doesn't work because they're trying.
Because Rivers isn't a 20-year-old awkward nerd man anymore.
Yeah,
so it doesn't ring true.
It doesn't ring true anymore. It just comes off totally false.
Anyway, news.
Anyway, news. Let's talk about some news. So tell me about Alita Battle Angel. I have next to nothing about this other than I hate the character's face.
That sounds mean, but it's the eyes. They're weird.
It's the eyes.
They're big, weird eyes.
It's that uncanny valley sort of thing where it's almost human, but not just this side of not, and it makes my stomach upset.
It's a new movie based on an anime, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, and I think
produced
by
James Cameron.
Yeah.
James Blue Jungle Cat Cameron.
And I think it looks okay.
The trailer looks fine.
The trailer was pretty exciting, had cool fights.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen a Robert Rodriguez movie, and I'm kind of in the mood for that.
Yeah. So
mindless violence.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who can tell me like the general plot of what this
I
is?
have no idea. It was so long ago.
Alita Battle Angel was a kind of a cyberpunky anime like back in the day. Kind of riding on like Ghost in the Shell's kind of like coattails.
It looked very Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, but not as good.
Yeah. She's I can't even remember if she's
Super
like
fighting robot.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Man.
Mega Alita
Yeah.
with
Like,
the mega eyes.
Seriously, when I watched it on a friend's computer on a newfangled DVD disc. And we watched it on the computer because that was the only place where you could play a DVD in their house.
Oh wow.
Because it was that new.
But no, she just looks like a fighting robot that someone finds and tries to teach to be a normal girl, but then she has to fight killer robots or something.
Cyborg people, but
Cyborg people.
Yeah, and the whole reason with her face is the fact that was the art style of the manga and the anime is she just has these really big buggy eyes.
It's like if they took that Netflix Death Note movie and made everybody's eyes real big in that. It doesn't make any sense.
Although I guess I can, just for the sake of arguing the counterpoint, I guess I can see them wanting to do like using the eyes being slightly making her facial features just slightly inhuman as a easy kind of like visual.
Remember, she's not human.
To say that, hey, she's a robot.
And maybe you should feel a little uncanny valley when you look at her.
Right. That could be what they're trying to go for. I just hate it.
It makes more sense than like in Detroit Become Human, where they're indistinguishable from humans except for this glowing LED light on their forehead.
They could just pop out.
That they can very easily remove.
It doesn't do anything. They just It's like you just break the factory seal, pop that thing out, and you look like a human.
Yeah, it removes
live your life.
It removes the visual tell of their emotions or whatever.
Or loading.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same loading graphic the game uses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. So, but that looks all right. That looks fine.
Yeah, I don't have any scathing criticisms for
I
Alita.
mean, Ghost in the Shell was.
It looks better than that.
Yeah. This has Christoph Waltz in it, so I'm okay with it. I'll always give it a shot. I like him.
Oh yeah, he's good and everything.
Yeah. So if we want to talk a little bit about TV, we're kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit here.
One more movie.
We do have one more movie thing. Hey, good news, everybody! Tom Hardy signed on for 3 Venom movies.
3 more.
3 more.
After that one that we've all seen and loved.
Yeah, because we know for sure that one's going to do so well. It's guaranteed to be a hit. Where they're symbiotes and they're
Like the Mummy.
weird, like, I'm going to eat your face stuff. And
Eat your face, your arms, and your legs.
yeah, just
Your
why?
butt cheeks.
I don't know. Listen, I understand trying to lock your actors in the event that your movie is going to be good, but look at what you're making.
It's not gonna. It'll do fine.
It'll do
It's
fine.
my guess. It'll do fine, but it's not gonna be a blockbuster.
It'll do fine here because it's a superhero film. It'll make all of its money back overseas, and it'll make enough for them to guarantee at least one more.
It's not going to be Deadpool.
It's not going to be Deadpool.
Yeah.
Heck, even the Marvel stuff's not even Deadpool.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why Venom. Why? What's the point?
Yeah, he's
I would say, as far as like ancillary Spider-Man characters, he's probably one of the more recognizable,
recognizable,
and
sure.
Yeah.
2 popular.
but
What?
he's a Spider-Man character.
Yeah, and like, yeah, if you want to take, like, outside of any other character outside of, say, Green Goblin, like, Venom is, like, tied super, super heavily to Spider-Man. To remove Spider-Man completely from the story, I just don't know how it's going to work.
It's like if they gave the Thing a movie without
Yeah.
the Fantastic Four in it.
Although the Thing did have a cartoon.
That's true.
Yeah,
He
Thing
also-
Ring, do your thing.
He also had a cartoon with Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble.
He did?
Yes.
I did not remember that.
Yes, he did. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure I read that the other day.
Wow, huh, okay.
I mean, I will make sure, so I'm not spreading false information. But
But, yeah, again, this is a Venom movie. I just don't
know.
know. And to know that we're going to get at least 3 of them.
I can only hope for like other symbiotes like Toxin or Carnage or.
Oh, give me all of them. Give me Shrike.
Shrek.
Yeah, give me Shrek. Donkey, I'm going to eat your face. Donkey.
Somebody once told me you got a black goo on you.
Fred and Barney Meet the Thing is a 60-minute Saturday morning animated package show and a spin-off of the Flintstones produced by Hanna-Barbera
Wow.
in 1979.
That sounds
Wow,
awful.
that sounds great.
It contained the following 2 segments: The New Fred and Barney Show and The Thing.
Okay. Huh, interesting.
Man, you said 1967?
1979.
1979, okay. Man, the Fantastic Four and Marvel itself would have been still really young at that point.
Yeah.
For the 1979 and 1980 season, the series was expanded to a 90-minute time slot with the addition of The New Shmoo under the title Fred and Barney Meet the Shmoo.
Oh, God.
What's the Shmoo?
You don't know what the Shmoo is?
No.
He's like a little white blob man.
But wasn't he...
Like from the Herculoids?
He was from a comic strip. He does look like the Hercules
yeah, he looks
guy.
like...
He's based on something from a comic strip, but he also had a Hanna-Barbera show where he solved mysteries with teenagers.
Yeah. Like mini Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah.
What you do.
That stupid
Yeah.
shark.
Hey, back off, Jabberjaw man. The Funky Phantom, where teens solve mysteries with an effeminate Revolutionary War general guy.
You know what make a really good quiz to do sometimes? Come up with, like, Hanna-Barbera, like...
Yeah, real or fake.
Crossover.
Or fake. Yeah. Yeah. But that would be a good one to ask anyone but me because I know all of the Hanna-Barbera ones.
Yeah,
like
me
Speed
too.
Buggy. Zoom, zoom.
He sounded like he was on drugs.
He did, yeah.
I mean...
Let's see, wasn't Captain Caveman one of the ones where he...
Yep.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
teens.
he solved mysteries with teens, too.
Yeah.
Captain Caveman. I tried not to peek the mic there, even though
I appreciate it, yeah.
There was also a dune buggy in the Funky Phantom, but I don't think it spoke.
Or what about the original Ghostbusters?
Oh, with the gorilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever seen the live action of the original Ghostbusters? Like, yeah, it was a live action show before it was a
dumb cartoon.
dumb cartoon.
Yep.
And
It
that's
was
why
it was a dumb live action show before it was a dumb
and that's
cartoon.
why the cartoon based on the Ghostbusters movie is called The Real Ghostbusters
Yeah,
because Ruby Spears had the rights. Was it Ruby Spears? I think it was Ruby Spears had the rights to the name Ghostbusters.
Hmm.
Which they also had to pay somebody to make the movie,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Anyway.
Just think if that's what the Ghostbusters movie was. If it was Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and a gorilla solving ghost crimes for 90 minutes.
Could have still been a good movie,
I would
honestly.
still watch it, yeah. Sure.
Would it been Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, or would it have been Bill Murray and Harold Ramis?
It would have been Bill Murray and John Belushi, I imagine, because there was a permutation of the Ghostbusters movie where
It was just John Belushi.
It was Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Oh.
It was the two of them, and they were more like utility workers. Like they came in, like people who came in and like to fix your plumbing or whatever.
Okay.
They would just come in and fix your ghosts.
And it was probably a lot weirder and a lot like mystical garbage.
Probably because of Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
Crystal Skull.
I was getting ready to make the joke. You beat me there.
Yeah. Did you know Eddie Murphy was originally written to play the Winston Zeddemore part?
Yeah, and he had a whole bunch more to do that they cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
That is a shame, because that would have been pretty great.
Man, there was so much. He's just not there.
Yeah. All right. So we have time for one more quick thing. I'm going to take 2 seconds and say...
Oh, I know what it's going to be.
Yeah, you know exactly what it's going to be. That's right. It's Power Rangers time. Get your hand on the button.
It's time for our podcast within a podcast, Go Power Podcast.
Where I'm going to talk about Power Rangers for like a minute and a half. So... this year is the Power Rangers 25th anniversary. It's crazy that it's been on for 25 years. And this, they just had an episode that aired this past week from Super Ninja Steel. That was like a anniversary show where a bunch of old actors from various seasons came on. It was like almost a dozen different actors, all led by Jason David Frank.
Of course.
Fighting an evil robot, Jason David Frank.
So they didn't just get one JDF, they got two.
They got two.
Okay, side note. If they wanted to use an evil Jason David Frank, they had a perfectly good villain already set up with the fans in the comic. They could have just pulled him.
Lord Draken?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know if they would pull that in. Although they did use Draken in Hyperforce, that role-playing show that they did on Twitch. Anyway,
that has the voice of Ladybug in it.
Yeah,
bringing it around.
Yeah, there we go. But we sat and watched a couple clips from it. Over the weekend, I'm probably going to try to watch the full episode because it'll probably go up online somewhere. But no, it's kind of cool that they got so many actors back to do this thing. They even got like Rocky. They even got Steve Cardenas.
Everybody's
favorite Red Ranger, Rocky. It's Rocky, guys.
They got all the Rangers that will agree to appear in the same location as Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
You mean all the ones that don't get angry around him?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I implied.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Although it is kind of neat that they created a special morpher for Tommy because he's
played so many different Rangers.
He has 5 different Rangers.
The Master Morpher or whatever they call it.
The Master Morpher, and it has elements from each one of the seasons, and it has a coin for each one of his versions, so he can switch back and forth between the different versions. That's kind of a neat idea.
hey,
maybe he's feeling green today. He'll go green.
Hey, we had a Sentai about that. They used keys, and it was fantastic.
Oh, sure, yeah. But anyway, that's all I have really to say about that, other than it's pretty great, and...
I enjoyed watching that clip we saw, and I don't give a crap.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. Yeah, right. All right. So, hey, I think that's going to do it for our show. Thank you very much for listening to our special 200th episode of Nerd Overload.
Air horns, confetti.
Pew, 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 pew.
We made it, you guys.
We made it.
We dropped the banner. It says mission accomplished.
200 episodes.
It's hard to believe, right?
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't.
Man.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
I got confetti in my mouth.
All right,
tastes like paper and regret.
All right. So anyway, I just want to remind you all, you can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can also find us on social media because you love it. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram at Nerd Overload Now.
All our social medias.
Yep.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
Hit us up with your all your favorite questions and comments and your your chili recipes as long as it's not Cincinnati style because that's disgusting.
That's not chili.
It's like meat slop.
It's not chili. I'm just saying that right now. It's not chili.
You can follow
Meat slop on cold noodles.
It's
Gross. Hard stance by Nerd Overload. Cincinnati chili's gross. Fight
Don't
me.
eat Skyline.
I didn't know that was going to inspire so much conversation. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nerd Overload TV, over there on YouTube. Check it out. Write a review on iTunes. That helps us out.
It does. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is very helpful for the show. You can
We
find
did
us-
200 of these for you. That's
Yeah,
the least
come on.
you can do at this point.
Yeah, it's the least you can do. Yeah. Anyway, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, just about anywhere you can find it.
Gregor.zone.
Gregor.zone. That is a website that you can find it. That hot new podcasting website. If you like t-shirts, and we know you do because, cover up your body. We have t-shirts. You can go to our store.
I'm running out of jokes about t-shirts.
Yeah.
And maybe we should try not to talk about nipples in this segment.
Maybe not. Well, now we have.
Now you've ruined
We've
it.
opened the nipple door, and now
That
they're-
Pandora box.
We've gone to the nipple well.
Yeah. So yeah, you could you can get a shirt. Just go to bit.ly/Nerd Overload T. That's TEE. Or you can go to nerdoverload.com and click on the store link at the top.
There's a new one with my famous sign-out line on it that's fantastic.
Yep, that's right. It's very cool. We always have more and more shirts going up there. Anyway, thank you again for tuning in. We really appreciate you sticking around with us. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
Merry 200th Miss
200
Eve.
miss.
Yeah.
And for the 200th time, pizza out.